Hi there, I'm Alex Hernandez, and thank you for visiting my YouTube channel today. I am your personal professor. Today, I'm going to go over the issues of personal loans with friends and bankruptcy, not just personal loans in general. Now, this is an issue because a lot of times you're going through difficult situations or someone and they ask you, if they can borrow money, whether it's to pay for the bankruptcy lawyer or just in general, or try to get by that month and pay a couple of bills. The question that usually comes up is, what do I do about my friend? Well, between you and me, you know, if you put him on a bankruptcy petition, you're probably not going to get invited to the next Sunday barbecue. A lot of times people um, don't include them and they pay them back. That's not right. That's illegal. But, I guess who's going to know? But what did they do include them? What happens now besides the awkward Thanksgiving dinner and not getting invited to the next Super Bowl party or being part of the fantasy football league? How do we handle this now? Well, first we have to understand that there's the issues of secured and unsecured debt. If it's unsecured debt and you loan someone personal loan, you're basically not protected. That's going to get wiped out unless there's money that's part of the bankruptcy estate where maybe all the creditors can get some, but everybody gets a pro rata share. So there's a good chance that more money is owed to Capital One or Bank of America than it is to you. If you paid $500 to your friend, you're not going to get a lot back in return with a Chapter 7. If you do a Chapter 13, maybe that gets complicated with a lot of other issues. But again, chances are you're not going to get the full amount. But what if it's secured debt? Do things change? Yes, absolutely, because secured debtors are protected. And if Chapter 13 is filed, they're the first ones that are paid out. Then you have other priority claims like DSOs, domestic support obligations, as well as your taxes, and then comes unsecured creditors. So being a secured creditor, when you provide a loan, whether just that's your business and that's your official your business, like you say, let's say you do car title loans, which kill you on the interest rate, by the way. But if you're just doing something between friends, the question is then how do you protect yourself? Well, it could get complicated, but realistically, if it is a legitimate, secured debt, you should be okay. I mean, I knew someone who, what they used to do was, I don't have my pen anymore. This is a new computer, so I have to use my regular pen. So I don't have pen. I have to use a stylus now. So let's try the stylus on this. Let's see how this works. I'm doing this on the fly. So technical difficulties, right? Yeah, that's not too bad. That works. Who used to say, okay, I'll loan you X amount, but we're going to sign a quick claim deed. Remember, that's a transfer of interest and property. And so they would say, you're going to keep my house for $5,000. And this person would say, I'm not keeping your house if you pay me back. And then they would say, well, I'm going to pay you back. I said, then you have no problems with the quick claim deed. The only way I'm giving you the money is you give me title to the house. That's the only way I can confirm that you're actually going to pay me. So good idea the way that works. But there is also the other issue of just when we're dealing with creditor and debtor law, how does this work with friends? And the answer is creditors are creditors. It doesn't matter if it's your mortgage with Chase Bank. It doesn't matter if it's unsecured debt like with a credit card, let's say Capital One, or it's your best friend. They are all creditors in the eyes of the law. So is there any difference between them? No. That's why you don't get to pick and choose which creditors get to make it onto the bankruptcy petition. People say all the time, well, I want to keep this credit card because I like them, I have points, whatever. Doesn't work that way. You don't get to keep it. All your debt has to be listed, and the debt that gets discharged will get discharged. Now, what happens if you are one of loaned your friend some money and you get notice for the 341 meeting? Do you have to go? No. This is not like your typical court hearing where you're obligated to go, and if you don't go, you're going to get in trouble with the judge. First place, there is no judge. It is called a meeting of creditors. Do creditors actually go? Not really. If there's any objections, they get filed with the court because this is a quick 2-3 minute hearing where there's not much that's going to get done. But now the issue with friends is also, and you see this a lot with tax returns, is that they do get a tax return and say, I'm going to use that money to pay my friend. I love my friend, known him for 20 years, and I'm going to use the rest of the money to pay the bankruptcy lawyer. Is that a problem? Now, for your bankruptcy lawyer, you can pay us and then go file for bankruptcy the next day. The court's not going to have a problem with that. We're obviously going to write laws that protect ourselves and protect our way of life, but it will affect your friend. I had, for example, a friend who at the 341 meeting confirmed that they paid a debt to their friend from the tax refund. Again, the creditors are all the same, debtor, creditor law. Everyone is treated the same. So the fact that you paid a friend over another creditor is going to be an issue for the trustee. Could the trustee sue Capital One if you decide, oh, I'm going to give $5,000 to Capital One and then go ahead and file for bankruptcy? Yeah, there's a good chance that the trustee is going to contact Capital One and say, give me the 5,000 or I'm going to sue you. And between attorney's fees and everything else, I'm going to make the 5,000, 15,000. So I've seen that before where that will happen. Usually the creditors cooperate in that regard. But if you're, a friend or family member that loans some money, and your friend now files for bankruptcy immediately, you're probably going to get a phone call or a letter from the trustee saying, "Where's my money?" That belongs to the bankruptcy estate, and at that point, if you actually receive the money, then you're going to have to give that money back. Too bad, so sad. That's the way that it works. What typically happens is friends say, I don't want my friends to get sued. I'll come up with the money on myself and just pay it to the trustee. Trustee doesn't care where the money comes from as long as they get the money. So just keep that in mind that if you do loan a friend money and they file for bankruptcy, you could be discharged in the bankruptcy. And if you actually got paid first and then the bankruptcy, that's also going to be an issue whether you're a debtor or you're a creditor. All right. So thank you, as always, for tuning in. I'll be posting more videos regularly over the next few days, going over a few issues. As always, if you're a paralegal student and you're using my textbook in your course, feel free to chime in and put a question or comment on the section below. I'll be more than happy to reply to you. And of course, check out Bankruptcy.blog. I'm back on track now. I'm posting almost daily new blogs, which then I talk about in these videos. So always use that as a student as a way to, better understand the process. And of course, those of you that are not students, remember that a whole idea behind bankruptcy.blog was to be able to take down, walk down that path of financial freedom, to get rid of debt, be debt free, be part of this debt free journey, which I want to be a part of as much as you. I'm paying down my debt. I promise you. I'm not gonna be the guy who owes $600,000 on credit cards or anything like that. I'm paying down my debt like everyone else. I gotta practice what I preach, and that is the whole concept of the videos, the podcasting, and of course the blog. So go to the blog, see all the different articles that are posted there that could help you whether you're filing for bankruptcy or maybe other issues about car loans, mortgages, interest rates, etc. It's all there. And of course, if you ever have a question, feel free to reach out to me or do it right here in YouTube videos as well. All right. Take care, everyone, and continue down that path of financial freedom. Take care.